Aloha everyone, welcome back to the Alaka'i, the podcast. We are your hosts, Sai and Maiko. I hope everyone's been doing well.
Today we have a very special episode. We'll be talking about sacrifice, family, and the pursuit of education.
Joining us are two incredible guests, Heiranie and Heiranie Lacour from Tahiti.
They are both freshmen here at BYU-Hawaii. Mahianu is majoring in business management, and Heiranie is majoring in TESOL education.
But what really makes their story unique is that they moved here with their two young children, both under the age of 3, leaving everything behind back home to pursue their education. Welcome, Heiranie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having us today.
It's so great to have you here. Let's start from the beginning. What inspired you to make this huge move to study here at BYU-Hawaii?
Well, we wanted to come to BYU-Hawaii a long time ago, since we started to date each other with my husband. But as you mentioned, we have kids. So, yeah, it was just difficult to find the right time for us to come. We were supposed to be here last fall semester, but even this didn't happen. And I just think that this time was the Lord's time for us to be here.
Okay, I love that. Well, it's great to have both you and your husband and your babies here in BYU-Hawaii. What's it like saying goodbye to your family and community in Tahiti, and how would you describe that for us?
Of course, I think it's hard, to say goodbye to your families and just leave everything behind. But we were prepared for that. And I just talk for myself. I travel a lot since I was in my young age, so I'm used to leaving my family and just go by myself. But for this time, it was different because we have the babies now. And yeah, I kind of had a feeling of, I felt stressed and anxious just because, I work and we don't get a lot of money. And I was just wondering how we could provide for our babies. But I trust Heavenly Father, and I had a lot of friends here who told me that we will receive help from a lot of people. So I guess I just trust. Yeah,
Love that.
we are here now. So
Moving here and leaving everything behind requires a lot of trust from you. So what do you think was the hardest part that you've done
the hardest part
So far, at least.
so
So
far?
far.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part since we got here was the administration part. There's a lot of paperwork
That's true.
that needs to be done. And yeah, we had to walk around campus and just go from ISS
Yeah,
to
place to
iWork, and then we had to go to HR, student employment, and then we needed to print papers out.
Yeah.
So we had to go to the library and then walk back to HR. So I
It's a
think
lot,
that was,
really.
yeah, it was a lot. But once everything was done, it gets better.
I love that. Okay, how has your relationship as a couple grown or changed since becoming students at BYU? So you mentioned a while ago that maybe during orientation there was a lot of paperwork and you'd have to go from place to place, and even though it's a small campus, some places are very far, especially when traveling with 2 kids. So how has that trust and relationship grown over the couple of weeks that you've been here at BYU?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, we had to go place to place, and so sometimes we just decided to just one stay at home with the babies and the other one goes and do what needed to be done. But then sometimes we just couldn't do that, so we
Yeah.
just went with the babies, and it was really hard to find a balance, But we are starting now to just figure out what we can do and how we can do it, because let's say it's just the first week, whole week of the semester, so it wasn't a full week, but it's just the beginning. We're still trying to figure out things. And yeah, honestly, at some point, I felt overwhelmed with everything that we had to do. But now we just have the SSN that needs to
yes.
get done. So once this one is finished, I think I will feel better. Yeah.
Let's go back to before you guys came here. As you were just starting to prepare documents while you were in Tahiti, starting to accept the admission here in BYU Hawaii. Were there some times where like it became too overwhelming to you and you just wanted to give up? What kept you motivated?
Oh yeah, absolutely. um, yeah. So we applied many times. I did apply many times before coming here. First time I saw everything that we needed to do. I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
It's just
That
it's
was a
lot
lot.
of work.
A lot of work, a lot of things to do, and so I just gave up, and then I reconsidered my. I just wanted to do it again and just see how far I can go this time. So the next time I applied, I just did half of everything, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And then the third time, I was okay. This time I will go to the end. So I applied, and then I thought that it was done. Once you apply and then you receive
Yeah.
the letter that says, okay, you have been chosen. But then I saw like an email saying, okay, now that you're done with this, with the admission part, you have all of this to do. And then I said, okay, I'm done.
There's more?
There's more. I was, are you kidding? And yeah, so every time it was like this until I found a friend here. She graduated already, and it's Laura Liu. She's a EIL teacher here.
Oh.
Yeah. If it wasn't for her, I think I wouldn't be here today. Because she helped me a lot in everything. I could just send her a message even at 11 p.m. and she would answer all of my questions. So every time I felt overwhelmed and I had questions, all of this, she was here for me. I think that helped me a lot. And also my husband, he was always supporting me in any way. He was like, we need to go. This time is the right time for us. So this time we don't have to give up. Let's just do everything and try our best to get there. So yeah, my friend and my husband.
I love that. So, like you mentioned a while ago, my next question you kind of answered already. Just a follow up on that. So, you mentioned your personal internal things that were going on in your mind when you were preparing. Did you ever ask as well your husband what he felt like during those times? What things would he say to you to keep you going, and how did you comfort him as well with like times of uncertainty?
Yeah. So I had to face these challenges a lot. Honestly, BYU Hawaii has always been like a goal for me. When I went on my mission, I was already preparing to come here. But when I got married and then we had babies, my vision of life has just changed. I just felt that I needed to provide for my babies. So I left college back home. I just went straight to work and like find a job and get some money and provide for their needs. So honestly, I didn't want to come here. I didn't want to be here at BYU Hawaii anymore. I didn't want to come. My husband passed the ELA test. He succeeded at ELA test, and so I was like, okay, let's try. And this time we'll do our best to be here. So yeah, I had to face all these challenges every time, and he was the one who always telling me, "No, please, let's just go." And then every time I was like, "Yeah, but I don't know." Like, I prayed, Heavenly Father, I'm not sure if we have to go. And then I went to the temple, and I received many answers from God saying that this time was the right time for us to be here. But every time I was like, no, I'm
It's
not
like,
ready.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, every time I get out of the temple and I'm like, I know I received an answer. But I was like, this is not the answer that I'm looking for. And so I went and talked to my husband and told him, okay, I read that in the Book of Mormon. God is telling us that we have to go, but I still don't know. So what can you say something? And he was like, well, God gave you an answer, so you just have to go for it. And I'm like, okay. And then I just kept taking one step at a time. And even when we got here at BYU-Hawaii, I wasn't certain that we should be here. But we are here, and I'm always telling my husband, I will see how it goes. So I'm still not sure, but we'll figure out.
I love that. He's just a very good motivator. Like from what you're saying, he's always, oh no, we can do it. You
Yeah,
know?
always.
Yeah.
Yeah. He dropped a class to go to another class in his major
Yeah.
or minor, and he loves it.
See?
He loves it. And he enjoys like every day. And even yesterday night, we had a conversation and we discussed about everything, how we feel. And he was just, I love it here.
Oh.
I see myself just staying here for 4 years and graduate. And I'm like, good for you.
It's okay. You'll find yours too, I'm pretty sure. Just like him.
I said, I'll pray tonight and just ask God that he can give me comfort.
Yeah. I feel like because Sai and I actually are came here with the same batch, right?
Yeah.
We came here the same time.
Okay.
And I also remember my first semester here. We came fall 2022. It was difficult. It didn't make any sense to me too. It felt like, oh, like BYU Hawaii was my goal, but now that I'm here, I don't know exactly what to do. And it took a while for me to understand, but I understood that now that I'm a senior. It took me 3 years to finally understand why I'm here and why I need to go to school here. It's very different for everyone. Took me 3 years. Maybe it takes you just one semester or two, or
Hopefully.
who knows? You know?
Takes a while, especially since there's going home is probably like gonna be very hard as well. It's not easy for you to just like, if you don't want to be here, just leave as if home is bus ride away.
Yeah.
So
You have a feeling that, oh, like, why don't I just like go home? But it's not. It's too far. Just to like book a plane ticket and go home and rest and stuff. But it all worked out. It'll work out.
yeah.
Hopefully
Anyway,
it don't take me. It don't take me.
Hopefully, it doesn't take you 3 years. Like
yeah.
yes.
anyway, you guys already mentioned years. So 4 years is a while, and in that 4 years, you guys are going to raise your kids who are below 2 years old, right? Or 3?
So yeah, he's 2 and almost 5 months, and
Oh, okay.
she's 1 and almost 4 months.
Oof. Okay.
So they're gonna grow up here for like longer than they've been in Tahiti, because they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
will stay here for like 4 years. But what is traditions or principles in the family that you had in Tahiti that you want to bring here as a family to maybe like make sure that your children still has those same traditions even while they're here?
So I don't think we have like any proper tradition that we want to like bring here from Tahiti, But there's one thing that we want to make sure that they will still get is French, like
Yes,
their own language.
True.
that is true.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that they still can understand and they learn French, so that they can still understand their grandparents, because they will talk to them. They need to understand. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what we want to make sure that they will do. But there are also other things that from what my husband and I want for them. Like, we want to make sure that they follow the church teachings. We kind of set an example for the prayer, you know, because if they were here, I would just tell them, like, okay, let's say a prayer, and they will both do this.
Oh, that
Like,
Wow.
they're young, but
Yeah.
they already know what it is like to do a prayer. And so this is something that we want them to learn here. And we have to take this opportunity because this is a church college, a church university, I
Yeah.
don't know, yeah. And so this is the best opportunity for us to teach them in the best way we can. I'm not saying that back home we cannot do it, but
Yeah.
you know,
that's true.
it can be easier while we are here.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. Just from what you said, that you want your children to be able to speak the language. I don't know how big the French Polynesia community here in BYU Hawaii, but we love them because they're part of the islands at the PCC, and I think almost every class that I go to, I always have at least two or three people from French Polynesia that are my classmates, and I'd be able to speak to them and talk to them and learn from them. But I love that. I love your explanation on that. What's a small everyday moment with your children that reminds you that this whole sacrifice of coming here is worth it? I feel like you kind of mentioned this a while ago too, like just you would say, let's do a prayer, and then
They do, yeah.
yeah,
They
they'd
cross
cross their hands and they'd act like they would pray as well. So I think that's like beautiful to me.
It is beautiful. But there's another thing that made me really like happy is like every time we are walking to like the steak center, my son he looks at us and he's like, "Oh, mommy, are we going home?" You know? And I'm like, "Yes, we are going home." You know, and he understands, he knows that when we walk that way, we are going home, you know?
Oh.
And
Oh yeah, it is towards TVA.
yeah, yeah. And so this gives me like a warm feeling, you know, that oh, it feels great, you know, that they feel good here. And even when sometimes there's kids outside, and my son, he's like, "Oh, mommy, can I go and play with this baby or these kids there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can go." You know, it makes me feel really good that they are starting to have friends, you know, and they adjust themselves really well here. This is like just a beautiful moment for me.
I love that.
I'm going to go back to like, because this has been on my mind since like we started, but when we say you guys left everything back home, what does that mean? Is it a house, a job, opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's also like a huge reason why I didn't want to come to BYU Hawaii anymore, because I used to work in the real estate.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
So I was a real estate agent before coming here. So it did pay really well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and I felt good. I had like a good team. And so what I did is I wanted to have like to take a step back from this opportunity, and I changed my job. And So I don't know how we say that here in America, but the job opportunities that I got an offer from, they offered me to work for them till retirement. Like there's no
Yo,
there's
oh
no
my
like
gosh.
yeah, there's no end date, you know. So I changed my job, and I had this job offer, yeah, till the end of like until retirement, and I signed it, and just a month later, I got like a proposition to upgrade my position. So they
And a
wanted,
promotion.
yeah, a promotion. Yeah, they wanted me to be a manager there. So I was like, yes, but I cannot. You know, like I told my, I don't know how to
Your
say,
boss?
my boss,
Yeah.
yeah, and I said, thank you, but I have to refuse. I have to say no because I actually have another plan coming up. And he was like, what? No. But yeah, so that's why I really didn't want to come here, because it was hard for me to say no to this position and leave my job behind, a job that I really loved to do. But I always try to follow my patriarchal blessing in everything. So in my patriarchal blessing, it was saying that I was going to be like to teach. This is what I have to do. That's why I knew that I wasn't in the right field back home. And I said, well, I know God's plan is always the best. So I just went for it. That's why we are here. So yeah, leaving a job opportunity back home, a house, maybe not, because we lived with my family. So yeah, that was the major thing that I left behind
Yeah.
to come here. I sacrificed my my job.
That's a good offer, too.
It
It's a
Yeah.
pretty good offer.
Yeah. If I didn't have it, it would be easier, I think.
That's true. Like, okay, let's go.
Like I have nothing to leave, so I can go there. I have nothing to lose, you know, just give it a try. But I was in this position,
Yeah.
so, and you know, I got this offer on January, and I just felt like, is that a challenge for me? We know that like there's always things that we have to overcome.
True, true.
And why do I receive this offer right now when we knew like 6 months before that we were going to BYU-Hawaii? Why does it happen now? So I'm like, no. That's why I went for what we have planned before receiving this offer.
Okay. I love your answer. How have your children adjusted to this big change so far? What do you see in your children right now that they're doing? Because I know that. So how old is the son again?
2.
He's 2.
Yeah.
So how old do they have to be to go to kindergarten? Like 6, 5, or like
I think
daycare?
I think preschool is 3.
Oh, so you might enroll him as soon as he turns.
yeah.
I hope.
Yes,
I
definitely.
Yeah.
So what do you think is like the big adjustment that they will have? Because like you said a while ago, you still want them to have like their language, and now that if they're gonna be enrolled in a preschool here in America, they would have to speak English, and
Yeah.
they would learn maybe like language from other people or other kids in the group. So what do you think is the biggest adjustment for your kids?
So when we got here, we don't have like, you know, the jet lag because it's the same time as Tahiti here.
Oh.
Same time, but I don't know why, but my son, once we got here, he started to sleep at 12 a.m. every night.
Wow.
And he wakes up at 6.
Oh.
He woke up at 6. So I was like, that doesn't feel okay. Like, why is he not sleeping well?
He's kind of like a college student
Yeah,
too.
that's what I was gonna say.
That's usually the time that
It's
you wake
like-
up if you have an 8 a.m. class. That's usually the time.
Yeah, so I think just this adjustment that, I don't know why. I just, it just
It's a bit
happened.
weird.
Yeah, but now he's starting to be okay.
Mhm.
We're trying to like make a routine.
Yeah.
But besides all of this, we want him to go to school. We want him to understand and speak in English. It would be great for him. So, I don't know what else to say.
It's okay. Okay. Love that.
We want him to just learn both languages and be fluent in both languages.
Both languages. Love that.
If that can happen.
So you
it would be
speak to
good.
them in French at home.
Yeah, both. We're trying to do both. Now we are starting to do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's
So-
good, yeah. I heard somewhere that if you teach children like 2 languages, they'll grow like smarter. I'm not
Yes.
sure. But yeah.
Yes.
No, my son, I'm not telling anything, but he is really, I think he's smart because
Really?
he learns really fast.
Love
You know,
that.
we, during NSO week, we went to PCC for the night show,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So he watched the show,
Yeah.
and the next day he walked us up, and he was like doing what we call the
Whoa.
bout. Yeah, he was like, look. And I was like, what
Where
are
did
you
you see
doing? Where did you see that? Like, how come do you know how to do it? And I was like, no, he didn't say like yesterday night because he doesn't know how to say it, but he said like what he saw, you know.
Oh,
And I was like,
Wow.
"Ow." And he also said, I am strong. I can do it.
yes, it's in your blood.
Yes.
It's
So
in your blood.
so yeah, he just watch
Mm-hmm.
the thing and then he do it by himself.
Wow.
So I just think this is smart.
I love that. I don't know, cause like a while ago too, I was like looking at your kids, right? And what happened with your son? I think he wanted to do something, but then he went to your daughter, and your daughter just like hugged him, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that's the most adorable thing that I've seen today."
Yeah.
I feel like there's like empathy with the kids. They have a good relationship.
Yeah. So yeah, when they want to. No. I understand. Like so they like to just like poke it, and just do this.
It's a normal
and that.
sibling thing.
Yeah. But I notice so my daughter, she takes a little more time to like adjust and understand things. She's starting to walk by herself, and I just feel like now she understands things better. When my son is not feeling well, she feels it. And she just goes to him and just give him a hug,
Aw.
and it's the same on the other side.
Yeah.
And I love it. It will be better if they just do this every
The whole
time.
time.
But
Okay.
So you mentioned that you wanted your children to still continue to learn French, and you know that you're on the right path because you told us that your patriarchal blessing involved teaching. But what other goals do you have like while you study here?
What else do you want to do while
Yeah.
you're here?
like in an academic way of
Anything actually, whether it be in your education or just maybe traveling, because
Yeah.
we can travel. Yeah.
we need money.
Oh, that's true.
I'm sorry.
That is true.
So for now, I don't really have like any big or massive expectations from BYU-Hawaii.
Yep.
Besides the fact that we are here to learn so maybe I hope, I believe that we will go out from here and just be better people
I love that.
in any way possible. Yeah, I just hope that we will be better.
I love that. Finally, what do you hope your children will remember or learn from this part of your story one day? Now that when they get a little bit older, and they'll, like you said, both your kids are very very smart. I feel like one day when you are able to tell them, oh, this is what our family did to be able to come here to America and be able to learn and come to BYU Hawaii, what would you want them to understand and learn from your experience coming here?
I hope that they will remember at least a few things that they will experience here. But I just hope that one day they will also want to come here and experience BYU-Hawaii for themselves as a student. Maybe it will be like a legacy in our family. I hope it will happen. Maybe.
Love that.
So, obviously, there are other families who are thinking of coming here, but similar to yours, are thinking about, is it worth it? Is it worth it to leave everything behind and study here, or is it not? But what can you say to those families who have the same challenges as you but still want to be in BYU Hawaii?
Yeah, so I think the message that I would like them to keep from this interview or podcast, just remember, if it's God's plan, then it will happen no matter what. And He will just make a way for you to be able to reach your goal. Like, even though I personally didn't want to come here or to be here, God made the way possible. Like, He really did. And I just saw all the miracles that he made throughout this journey. Like, just for example, when we went to the embassy, we were expecting to have lots of questions, and it will be hard because we heard that America is really kind of difficult, you to move here. But when we went to the embassy, everything went just smoothly. We only had like one question, and the woman that interviewed us was just like, okay, I approved your visa, you just need to wait until you come and take them. And we were like, what?
We expected more questions.
We expected like this interview to go, just a little bit more, a little bit harder, And before we went, we prayed as a family, and I told Heavenly Father, if this interview doesn't go well, I'm not going there. But it went smoothly, and I was like, okay, I understand. I get the message, So I hope the families that want to come here, please just follow God's plan. If it's what He wants you to do, then just go for it. Even though you're in the same situation as me, you don't want to be here maybe, or you're not sure if this is the right thing for you to do, follow the plan. And you will figure out throughout your academic years here. Hopefully not 3 years, but
Just like me.
maybe, but I think at some point we will understand the purpose of why we are here, So just go for it.
Well, thank you for sharing your story with us today. I know that your story of sacrifice and dreams and wanting to do more for yourself and your children is going to help so many families who also want to be here and who are also already here.
Love that. And thank you to all of our listeners for joining us. Don't forget to follow Alaka'i on Instagram at Alaka'i News and on Facebook and YouTube.
You can also listen to this episode and future episodes on Buzzsprout, YouTube, and Spotify. This has been Alaka'i, the podcast. Once again, these are your hosts, Maiko and Sai, and I'll see you next time.